Hey guys, welcome back for a video. Around 2 years ago, I made a video about the MM2 lore. I said this in that video, but most people probably don't know that MM2 has lore. But if you piece together different Easter eggs all around MM2, you can actually create a timeline, which is really interesting. So in today's video, I will be taking my previous MM2 lore video and expanding it, adding a lot more lore. Also, before I start this video, I want to say that some of the info from this video was taken from the video How NIKILIS Died. The link is in the description. This story begins hundreds of years ago at the farmhouse. A UFO came crashing down to Earth and flew right down towards the farmhouse. It flew right past it and crashed into the MM2 lobby, destroying it. Hundreds of years have now passed, and now we are at the factory. The factory is run by Zylik, as seen on the license plate of the trucks. Zylik had a son. His name was Quinn. One of the employees at the factory had a son who he brought to work occasionally. His name was NIKILIS. You can see him standing in the window watching over the work being done. Quinn also went to the factory since his dad was the boss. He and NIKILIS ended up meeting and becoming best friends. After many years, NIKILIS went on to work at Office 3, which is where he met Dylan, Joven, and Slaus. NIKILIS worked hard every day and it eventually paid off. He became a very successful businessman and opened Bank 1. We know this as there's a statue of NIKILIS in the entrance. Meanwhile, while Nick was becoming successful, Quinn opened Hotel. We know this as there was a plaque showing his name at the front desk. While Nick was very successful, Quinn wasn't. His hotel didn't do very well, for reasons such as the bad service, maintenance, and sanitation, such as how every sink was frozen solid. Quinn became jealous of Nick. He wanted to find other ways to become rich, so he secretly enrolled into the military. To hide his identity, he changed his persona and took on the name of his father, Zylik. We can see this on the chair. Quinn, now Zylik, changed his identity as he was secretly doing illegal experiments under Millbase in the biolab. The proof that Biolab is under Millbase is that they both have the same circular object in them. NIKILIS became so successful, he opened another bank, this being Bank 2. We can also see a Nick statue in the entrance of Bank 2. NIKILIS actually hired Joven and Dylan to work there, as their pictures are on the desks upstairs. Nick never hired Slaus to work at Bank 2 because he disappeared. Legend has it that he ran off to his circus and became the infamous clown Pennywise. We don't have any evidence to back that up. Just like Zylik, Joven became jealous of Nick's success and secretly became a bank robber and stole millions of dollars from Bank 1. Nick was able to get this money back from how successful he was, which infuriated Joven. So when Nick asked Joven and Dylan to work at Bank 2, he accepted to steal company secrets. Eventually, Joven decided to leave Bank 2 and open his own company, ThexCorp. He used the money he stole from Bank 1 to fund a cloning project. Zylik was also studying cloning as seen by himself in a test tube in Biolab. Zylik and Joven both had a scorn for NIKILIS, so they decided to work together in the research facility to study cloning, and to get revenge on Nick. Zylik needed more test subjects to clone, so he decided to get revenge on Nick by kidnapping him along with Dylan. He put them into test tubes and started to clone them. Meanwhile, Joven was researching a UFO that had crashed into the MM2 lobby hundreds of years earlier, and he decided to go find it. Slaus, although thought to have disappeared, had actually found out Joven had robbed Bank 1 and had been tracking him ever since. While Joven was exploring the wreckage, Slaus' investigations on Joven led to his discovery that Zylik had kidnapped Nick and Dylan, so he went to the research facility to confront Zylik. Zylik went to the biolab to get tape, and when he got back, he saw Slaus. Zylik didn't know what to do, so he punched Slaus in the face, knocking him out. Zylik used the tape from Biolab to shut Slaus' mouth and locked him in one of the lockers. You can still see the tape to this day, and the only remains of Slaus is his clown knife in the locker. A little later, Joven returned from the wreckage of the UFO and brought with him a dormant alien. Some of you may know him as the Reaver. The Reaver is being held in a test tube, but broke out, which is why one of them is broken. The Reaver escaped the research facility and started a zombie apocalypse. To make things worse, the Reaver let off radiation around the hospital, so it had to be quarantined. The Reaver quickly wiped out 99% of the population, but Joven and Zylik survived. Joven hid in the secret room, and Zylik escaped through the sewer system in the research facility. The remaining humans banded together and became the survivors, taking refuge in the MM2 lobby and repairing it. After years, the Reaver created a portal and walked through it. This portal led to Scary Mode, and when the Reaver walked through it, the Scary Mode cloud walked out. The Scary Mode cloud terrorized Manor, but the survivors eventually defeated him. His mask can still be seen in Farm. The portal didn't open for years, but eventually it did, and the Zombie King came out. The zombies took over the barn and infected all the survivors there. Then they started a battle against the survivors in the MM2 lobby. The survivors won the 2022 Halloween event, meaning they defeated the zombies in battle. After the survivors won, they continued to rebuild the MM2 lobby, and MM2 was finally restored. The MM2 lobby had finally been rebuilt, but Zylik was still alive. He went into the secret room, which was actually a military nuke silo, and targeted the MM2 lobby, destroying it. Zylik went to the remains of the MM2 lobby and found the destroyed portal. Suddenly it opened, and the Traveler walked out. So there we go, that is the complete MM2 lore. The MM2 lore is super interesting, and I'm really glad that it keeps getting expanded on. Hopefully in the Halloween update this year, there's more lore added, so I could even possibly in a few years remake this video from all the new lore that's come out. Yeah, I think that'll be for today's video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and I'll troll it outro. Peace.